Hi everybody, we are live YouTube Q&A for tonight. Let me just get everything set up over here and then we can get started. YouTube is being a little slow for me tonight. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hi everybody. Oh, I'm glad that a few of you are here already. Hello, how are you? All right, I ask this every time, but can everyone hear me okay? Is everything good? Hi, NYC, thank you so much for asking. My day has been great. It was kind of a slow day over at Cord Cutters News today, strangely. I'm not sure what was going on with that. Hi everyone, I'm so glad to see so many of you here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jess. I am one of the writers over at Cord Cutters News along with Luke. He had plans tonight and I was happy to fill in and do the Q&A tonight. I think I might be doing this a little more often now, so hopefully you all are okay with me filling in a little more and doing this Q&A with you. All right, so let's jump in now that we have a few people in here. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and fire away. I'm going to post on Twitter real quick and let people know that we're over here having fun without them. All right, so my first question for all of you is, did anyone follow along with the Disney earnings call this week? I'm interested to see what you all think about the numbers for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Disney had huge numbers. They reported that they now have, let me check my notes, 28.6 million subscribers. ESPN Plus has 7.6 million, and Hulu with Live has 3.2 million subscribers. So I'm interested to see what you all think about that. Was that higher or lower than what you were expecting? NKH asked, I subscribe to Hulu and Amazon. Do I need both? That completely just depends on what you're looking for. Do you have Hulu with Live or Hulu on demand? Either way, there is some overlap, but both of those streaming services have some really good original content. So if you're a fan of the originals on Amazon Prime, things like Jack Ryan, or if you're a fan of the originals on Hulu, like The Handmaid's Tale, then that would be a reason to keep both of them potentially. So yeah, it's really just a matter of personal preference, what you're looking for and what you can get on either service. Amazon is only on demand. Hulu has the option to move up to a live streaming tier. Gigatest says different animals. Yeah, that's true. They are two very different streaming services. So again, just personal preference, the content that you're looking for. Amazon does make it easy to subscribe to premium channels or extras. They have things that are like Acorns or BritBox that you can subscribe to right from Amazon, which is really convenient. Hulu also has premium add-ons that you can choose. So yeah, once again, just personal preference and whatever you're looking for. Farmer Texas 98 says, Jess, are you an official cord cutter? If so, when did you cut the cord? I am an official cord cutter. I grew up with cable. I remember the day that we got our cable box when I was younger. I had cable in college because it was free in my dorm. But after that, I have been cord-free, cable-free. So yes, I am a full-time streamer these days. Christopher said he enjoyed Toy Story 4 on Disney Plus today. Awesome. I didn't know it was officially added. That's very cool. I'll have to watch that one later. I've really, really enjoyed the Toy Story movies. NYC says, love that Hulu is rolling out internationally. My guess is because there will be Marvel Studios upcoming shows that are too edgy for Disney Plus. Yeah, that's very exciting news. So that's something that we learned during that Disney earnings call also, is that Hulu is planning on expanding internationally in 2021. So we do still have some time to wait, and they haven't made any official announcements about which countries they'll be expanding to first. Latin America is usually a popular one for streaming services to go to after the US. So I would expect Latin America in 2021 and then Europe after that, but they haven't made that official announcement yet. So we are just kind of keeping an eye on that and seeing what they have to say. Let's see here. Jason says, do you have any updates on when Roku will get the AT&T TV Now app back? At the moment, using my Apple TV 4K to watch. Unfortunately, no. I think this is just something where they have to come up with some kind of a deal. I think both of them are sort of pointing the finger at each other. So we haven't really gotten any real answers about that, but we will update you as soon as we know. We are definitely keeping an eye on that one. I have my Twitter notifications set up so that I will find out as soon as it happens. Chris says, glad to hear that Disney Plus is having a good start. Do you think that will level off? I don't, and here's why. They seem to think their plan right now is that expanding into other countries is really going to pull in some international numbers. So I do think that numbers in the US will level off within the next year, but I think that international subscriptions are really going to make up for that. They have a very strong plan for international expansion, so I think those numbers will only continue to go up. And then in October of this year, we'll be seeing season 2 of The Mandalorian. Also later this year, we'll be seeing some new Marvel shows, and I think that will really keep the subscriptions going. So whenever those Verizon free customers like myself are coming to the end of their year free of Disney Plus, those shows will be coming out, and it might convince people to, excuse me, to stay on. Howard says, what do you think of T-Vision T-Mobile service? Was thinking of trying them. I'll be completely honest, I have no experience with the T-Mobile stuff. I know that we've talked about it a little bit on the site, and I'm not sure if Luke has tried it out either, but I will look into getting some more information and hopefully doing a review for you soon. Jim says, I removed my DirecTV dish and mount from my house. How does everyone dispose of them? If anyone has any information about how they've done that, please leave a comment for Jim over here. I've never had a satellite, so I've never had to deal with that. I thought the company would come back and pick it up for you. I know most people say that they leave them outside with a free sign and that they're gone the next day. So if that's an option where you live, that might work for you. If people here don't have an answer, I would say go over to the cord cutting tech support group on Facebook and leave a message there. Some people will have some really helpful answers for you. Ball says, the only thing I hate about live streaming of cable TV is that it uses a ton of data. If you're live streaming and you're using too much data, go over to cordcuttersnews.com and look for a post about how to save on data. Luke did a really good post about how to conserve your data. Things like making sure that you close out of streaming services before you turn off your TV. Just small changes like that can really help. John says, I cut the cord on February 1st, 2019, and I have YouTube TV and love it. I will not go back to cable, and I love Disney Plus. That's great. We love hearing success stories like that and people that are happy with their choice to cut cable and go to streaming. So that's awesome, John. I'm glad that you're happy with YouTube TV. That has been a really popular one lately. So PlayStation Vue, as we all know now, has shut down. And I've heard so many of our readers say that they've switched over to YouTube TV from PlayStation Vue. So I'm interested if any of you are watching and listening now, if you had PlayStation Vue, what did you switch to? Did you also pick YouTube TV or did you go somewhere else? Howard wants to know, do you know if any streaming services will carry Cubs Marquee network besides AT&T TV? I think that there's a lot of discussion about this right now, in baseball especially, but across all sports, that teams want streaming rights, the different streaming services are trying to pick things up. So whenever we have more information about that, we'll post about it, but I don't have an update for you right now. Lil Art says, are there any new apps for Roku? Constantly. Something that I've been reading up on a little bit this week is that Roku has a lot of channels for local news, weather, and sports. So if you're looking for local channels, definitely head over to the Roku channel store and search for just your local news channels or your local sports teams and things. Search for all of that and just see what comes up. You might find that some things in your area have their own dedicated Roku channel now. I'll have a post up about that soon. I'm working on it. Got a little distracted today. NYC says, I watched the Super Bowl on Fox Sports app on the Roku. The 4K quality was incredible. Why can't more sports be broadcast in 4K? Yeah, so fun fact, this was the most live streamed Super Bowl in history. It was also the 10th, I believe, most watched Super Bowl in history in total. So that was pretty cool. The Fox Sports app was incredibly popular, and I'm really glad that Fox and Roku got their act together and figured all of that out before the Super Bowl. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why more sports can't be broadcast in 4K. I'm sure it's very expensive for them to figure out, and it's very time consuming. They have to have a team that can figure out how to do all of that. But I think that the Super Bowl did an incredible job. And really, I mean, the biggest live sports event of the year was a really good opportunity to see how all of that could work on just such a large scale. So I'm really hoping that now other sports and just others within the NFL even can kind of take notes from that and figure out how to keep bringing sports in 4K. And Paul says, DirecTV says they don't care about taking back their satellite. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Like I said, I know a lot of people will just leave it outside with a free sign and people will come grab it for whatever reason. But yeah, definitely, if anyone else has any suggestions, please go ahead and leave them in the chat, or mball, if you want to go over to the Cord Cutter Tech Support Group on Facebook and ask them. I'm sure people will have some ideas for you. Jeannie says, just got my first Roku and trying it out. That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. Roku is a really good one, especially for those who are just starting out. It's very user-friendly. I like it a lot. I use a Roku myself. I use others as well, but I really do like my Roku. I think it's very user-friendly. So I'm interested, which one did you pick and what channels have you added so far? Alton says, when will Amazon Internet launch? That is a great question, and I wish that I had an exact answer for you, but I do not. I'm really looking forward to Amazon Internet and also SpaceX. They just launched 60 more satellites. There's just so much going on right now, and I think that those are going to be two really good options. I'm looking forward to seeing how much area that will cover, and hopefully those in like smaller towns and underserved areas will have access to internet with that. But I do not have an exact date for you. I'm very sorry about that, but we'll keep an eye on it. Amazing Eric says, welcome Jess, thank you so much. YouTube TV has added more PBS channels. I now have 2 PBS channels, Indianapolis and Bloomington. Very cool, that's great. Yeah, we've been hearing this all week. We've been getting reader emails consistently all week letting us know that PBS has been added in more areas. That's awesome. If you're a YouTube TV subscriber, definitely check your channel listings and see if your local PBS station has been added. PBS Kids is also on there, so that's awesome for families. So definitely go check. If you are not a YouTube TV subscriber yet, but you're thinking about it, go over and do the free trial. I think right now it's a 7-day free trial. Sometimes they do 2 weeks. So definitely go take a look because PBS is one that people have been asking for a long time. And we do know that PBS is planning to come to additional streaming services in the future, but we don't have any kind of timeline for that. So right now it's YouTube TV. Bill says, you posted help for someone, but not sure if it posted to the chat. Bill, I did not see it, but that does not mean that it wasn't there. I'm just trying to catch things as they're going by, so I may have missed it. Brett says, what equipment is needed for SpaceX? Brett, I'm really not sure exactly what you mean. I don't think you'll need anything special. It's just going to be an additional internet provider. So we will see whenever they start offering that, what it's going to look like, what the setup will look like. Right, let's see. Who all watched the Super Bowl and what did you think about it? Were you cheering for either team? I'll be honest, this year I didn't really care much about either team. Hate to say it, but I was there for the commercials. I was all in on the commercials. Oh, Bill sent a link for RokuGuide.com. Yeah, that's a really good website if you need additional Roku help. And Ball says they did not watch the Super Bowl this year. Well, you might be the only one because it was the most streamed and one of the most watched in history. TG says, I watched the Super Bowl on antenna with my 65-inch TV. Friends and family were impressed. Been a cord cutter for over 6 years. Awesome. That's really cool. 6 years is great. So you were in it from the beginning. What kind of a TV do you have? 65-inch. I know a lot of people are always looking to get 65-inch TVs, and the options seem to be kind of limited. So I'm interested to know what brand you use. Robert says, I watched it at a bar with friends. Yeah, that's something that we don't talk about often enough, I think. We always talk about these live streaming services. We talk about using antennas. We talk about the free apps that you can use at different times for different events. But local meeting spaces like bars, restaurants, things like that, that's also a great place to just sit and watch major events like the Super Bowl with friends. So glad to hear it, Robert. I hope you had a good time. Derek says, will Pluto or IMDb come out with live commercial TV? That is a great question. Things are on Pluto live but curated, so you're not getting, say, an MTV channel, you're getting a curated MTV channel. But you can kind of scroll through the guide and see what's playing at that specific time. They do have an on-demand library, but they also have those live channels. I don't know if anyone's going to actually do a live service where it's like local broadcast channels where you could just turn on HBO and watch it with commercials. I guess it's a possibility, but I don't know that anyone is planning on doing that right now. Javier wants to know where my friend is tonight. Luke is my boss and also my friend. He is out tonight, and I offered to go ahead and do the Q&A. And as I said in the beginning, I think I'm going to start doing this more often and just kind of split up the work a little bit. So I will be happily here chatting with you guys a little more often now. G-Money says, cut the cord at the end of January with YouTube and Philo, saving over $70 a month. Yeah, YouTube plus Philo, that's a really good pairing, so good call on that. Are you happy with both of those? Did you do the free trials first? Tell me everything. I'm really happy to hear that you're saving $70 a month. That's amazing. That's a really good savings. Ben says, why is live TV service going as high as cable TV? Sling told me it would cost $70 a month. If you're on Sling TV and you're paying $70 a month, then you have definitely some of the add-ons that you are putting in there. It can be as cheap or as expensive as you want to make it. So if you wanted to spend less money, you could do just one of the Sling packages, either orange or blue, and then maybe choose a couple of add-ons. There's also other streaming services like Philo that are a little cheaper. So there are definitely ways to keep the costs down. It doesn't have to be that expensive. It's just a matter of how many services you're paying for and what you're looking for out of your cord cutting experience. So I would just say compare your options, take advantage of those free trials for sure. That'll help you save some money. Bill says that Luke is enjoying winter for a couple of days. Yes, no joke. It was 70 a couple of days ago and 30 something down there today. That's a little crazy. I just hope that everyone is being very careful on the roads. Anyone down there that's getting some bad weather this week. I know it's easy for us up here to kind of laugh about the weather and say that 30 isn't that bad, but if you're not used to driving in the snow, I'm sure it's a little bit of a mess down there. Robert says, I have the Sling TV Blue package with a total TV deal, $53 with tax. That's, yeah, a really good option. So the total TV deal has 7 of the Sling add-ons plus the DVR for $20 a month, I believe. And it really gives you just a ton of options for things to watch. So choosing either orange or blue and adding that total TV deal is a really good deal. Chris says, I want a sports-only streaming service with the ACC network. We've been hearing that a lot lately. So Fubo TV is a streaming service that's really sports-focused. but they also have other channels, so there's really something for everyone on Fubo TV. So we've been hearing a lot lately that people are looking for a sports-only streaming service that would have everything, including ACC Network, Big Ten Network, all the ESPN channels. But unfortunately, that's not really a possibility at the moment. A lot of these sports channels are part of larger packages. So for example, if a streaming service wants to add ESPN, they have to get the whole Disney package. That means that you're getting the Disney channels in addition to all the ESPN channels. And that can get really expensive really quickly. And it also means that you have all these extra channels that you didn't necessarily want to have on your service. So that's why it doesn't exist yet. I'm not saying it's not a possibility in the future, but for right now, that's what's going on with that. Bill says he's using Friendly and an antenna and Disney Plus. That's a good setup. The really great thing about cord cutting, and I say this all the time, it's that you can really pick and choose what you want and when you want it. So Bill, for example, is using Friendly TV and Disney Plus as two streaming services. That's great. So if he decides that he wants to watch some Hulu originals, he could potentially drop Disney Plus for a month and take Hulu instead. And then adding in an antenna is just such a smart idea for cord cutters. Most people in the US can get at least some channels for free over the air with an antenna. So definitely something to look into if you haven't already. We have tons of guides over on cordcuttersnews.com with suggestions for antennas if anyone's looking for recommendations. Donna says, I use Philo, Netflix, and an antenna. That's another really good one. Philo's great because it's inexpensive, it's got some good channels, really good lineup, so you get your live TV, and then you can also use Netflix for all of your on-demand. Sorry guys, I think I'm starting to come down with a little bit of a cold. Terrible timing. Robert says, I also have Disney Plus, Netflix, and WWE Network. So that's another thing to consider. These kind of niche channels, niche streaming services, things like the WWE Network. So if you're really only interested in one specific subject, one specific sport, anything like that, there's likely a streaming service that's made just for you. And those more niche channels are also going to be less expensive than some of the ones with the larger packages. All right, keep your questions coming. We will be here for about another half hour, unless my voice gives out first. Chris was answering a question from Travis that I must have missed. He says, Philo is a service for 59 channels of live TV for $20 a month. Yeah, it's a skinny bundle package, so it has a lot of channels, but it's a little less expensive than some of these other packages with more channels. Judy wants to know if you need an antenna for every TV in the house. Yeah, so you'll have to have your antenna hooked up directly to your TV. So it's great if you just want one like in the living room in a central location so that you can get all of those local channels. Ricky says, is the rumor that AT&T TV is going nationwide next week true? As far as we know, yes. So we have gotten some tips and things saying that it might be coming out on the 11th, and then we heard that it might be even earlier than that. So yes, it does look like next week is going to be the time when AT&T TV rolls out nationwide. Obviously, we'll be paying close attention to that, and we will post as soon as we hear anything. There are some strong opinions about AT&T in the comments. Yeah, I think everyone just kind of has their own opinion about which streaming service works best and which internet provider is best for them in their area, and that's fine. Everyone can have their own opinion about that. I know some people really enjoy AT&T TV now, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to AT&T TV as well. Will the ACC network ever come to Comcast? To be honest, I have no idea. Things like this, whenever you're asking about a specific channel coming to a specific service, either cable or streaming, it's really about licensing deals. So there has to be some kind of agreement, and it's always about money, let's be honest. So it's really just about whether the two can work out a deal. Sending in a email or anything, just reaching out to the company that you're with and telling them that you want that channel can be helpful. They do listen to their customers and they want to give you the channels that you're looking for, but it really is just a matter of working out those licensing deals. And since I use YouTube TV and Friendly plus ESPN, plan to drop ESPN after basketball. Love them all. Yeah, again, that's the great thing about streaming is that whenever you're done watching basketball, you can very quickly and easily drop the streaming service you were using to watch it and move on to something else, or just save a little cash that month. Manny says, why don't smart TVs have an antivirus? That's a great question, actually. I would love to look into that more and find out what smart TVs do to prevent viruses. DM says, is there any news on Atsc 3 Dvrs from CES? I don't know that I saw anything about DVRs specifically, but I did get a chance to look at some potential new Atsc 3.0 tuners. So for those who don't know, Atsc 3.0 is going to be the new standard. You will not need to get a new antenna for your TV, but you can get a little tuner device that will allow your TV to have Atsc 3.0 channels. So a lot of companies are working on these tuner devices, and we saw a couple in action at CES. So hopefully those will start rolling out soon. I said this last time that I was doing a Q&A, I believe. I don't know that Atsc 3.0 is going to be huge this year. I think a lot of it's going to happen next year. I think that some of the initial stuff will happen this year, but then next year things will kind of get ironed out and it'll be more widely available. So we will see, but yeah, I would not be surprised to see devices start coming to market soon. Ben says, does Vidgo TV have ESPN, AMC, Sundance, IFC, TMC? Those are a lot of channels. They do have ESPN. Hold on just a minute and let me grab for you our comparison chart. All right, I just put in, nope, was that right? Yes, okay. I just added the link to our post with our comparison chart where you can look at all of the major live TV streaming services and compare the channels, the DVR, and some of the other features of all of those to figure out which one will work best for you. So you can just go ahead and scroll down that list, find the channels that you're looking for, and see if they are checked off the Vidgo list. Aaron says, well, I do use YouTube TV for convenience, Jess. I think that I'm getting annoyed by Kappa on YouTube and think it would be a good thing to have options for other places for cable channels like Comcast or Amazon. It's really personal preference. Once again, I know that's always my answer, but I stand by it. It's just a matter of what you're looking for and where you can find it. If you're not happy with YouTube TV or if it's just kind of annoying you for now, I would say that you might want to do a free trial of another service and just see if something else works for you, or maybe trying something and coming back would help you deal with that. Gigatest, my audio is echoing. Yes, I'm so sorry about that. I think there's something happening with my microphone. I can kind of hear it too. Brandon says, will 3.0 TV support 4K HDR? Yes. So Atsc 3.0, the purpose of it is to bring better quality to your viewers. So you will get better picture quality, you'll get 4K HDR, you will also get better sound quality. So just all around, it should be a better viewing experience. Daniel says, will Atsc 3.0 TVs come out this year? That's a great question. I would not be surprised to see them come out. I don't know that I have heard of any coming out soon. Luke would probably know better than me. I think he pays a little more attention to new TVs and devices hitting the market. But I would not be surprised to see them start coming out this year, but I think next year we'll really see a lot more and a lot of more affordable ones. Mark says, can you provide a list of Sling TV add-ons? You know what? I cannot off the top of my head because there are so many, but let me send you a quick link to the Sling TV website there. You can go straight to that website and it's right there on that main page. Just scroll down past the basic packages, and then you'll find all of the add-ons. Howard says, I like the free Stir app. They have chips on it. I wish it was on demand. Well, I have good news for you. There are lots of other free streaming services, and they also have a lot of those really good classic TV shows that you guys are looking for. So definitely check out IMDb TV, check out Pluto TV, check out Stir if you haven't already, and then Crackle is another one. So I actually just got off the phone with Crackle earlier today, and I asked them specifically for you guys, because you ask me about this every week. I asked them for any information they have about classic TV that they have now and what they're planning on bringing in the future. They assured me that it is a priority for them, that they do already have a strong classic TV selection available on Crackle, but that they are also working on potentially bringing in more, and they will let me know whenever they do, and I will pass that information right along to you guys. I know that a lot of you really like classic TV, so I'm keeping an eye on it. I've got your back, guys. Manny, thank you so much for that $2 tip. We really appreciate it. Jim says, Philo starts a show where you left off. I need YouTube TV to do this. Yeah, definitely. So little features like that can really make the difference in a viewing experience. So you can actually send an email to YouTube TV if you want and make that suggestion. I know that they definitely take those to heart. So I would definitely suggest that. Yeah, that's a little feature that we don't think about very often, but yeah, it can make all the difference. So yeah, I agree. I really like it whenever I'm watching something, I can turn off my TV, come back, and just pick it right back up again. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, Bob says, what happened to the usual cord cutter guy who makes the daily videos? That is Luke. He is my boss. And yes, he does normally do these, but he was out for tonight, so I am taking over the Q&A. And like I've said a couple of times, I am probably going to start doing this a little more often. So hopefully you're okay with me being here and answering your questions from time to time. Steven says, what are your thoughts on Bumblebee TV and Airy TV? To be honest, I have not heard of those. I would say that if they are offering a ton of channels for a very cheap monthly price, be on the lookout. We always say if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So be careful. M-Ball says, I just don't know that cable streaming is cheaper than getting real cable anymore. I think it's about the same, so might as well get the real deal. Once again, personal preference. Cord cutting, while I love it and a lot of our readers love it, it's not for everybody, so we understand if you go back to cable, if that works better for you, your budget, and what you're looking for. However, there are a lot of benefits to streaming. You can switch from one service to another. You can truly find anything you're looking for. And you can save money. It's just a matter of finding the services that work for your budget and figuring out how many you want to subscribe to each month. Oh, thank you so much for the compliments, guys. I really appreciate that. Yes, I'm always happy to help out Luke so that he can have a night off. Absolutely. I think sharing the responsibilities works out better for everybody. All right, keep your questions coming. We have about 20 minutes left, and then we will call it a night, but I'm happy to answer any of your cord cutting questions, or just to hear about what you're watching right now. I'd love to know. I've been looking for something new to start watching on Netflix, something that I can binge over the weekend, so if anyone has any good suggestions. I've been thinking about watching The Witcher. I hear really good things about that. Netflix has said that it is set to be their... Netflix said that it's much... So sorry, I can't talk. I just got distracted trying to read the comments over here. Netflix says that The Witcher is set to be the strongest season 1 of any original show that they've had on their platform. So it's definitely one that I would like to see. So I'm interested if any of you have watched it and what you think about it. Robert says, love cord cutting, much cheaper than my old $190 DirecTV bill. Yeah, a lot of people just say that they save so much money, and that's definitely the #1 benefit of cord cutting. But again, if you're finding that you are not saving money or that it's not working out for you, if you feel like going back to cable, that's fine. Another nice thing about cord cutting is that if it doesn't work for you, you can quickly and easily cancel your services. You won't have any early termination fees or cancellation fees, anything like that. So you can just go back if you feel like it. Mark says, will Luke be able to give more info about the Roku and Fox dispute? It's really scary. I agree. I don't like that just before the Super Bowl, there were just hours to go before it started, and all of this happened. It is very scary that they can just choose to take channels off of a major platform like that. I don't like it either. I don't think that either of us really has any insight other than the statements that Fox and Roku both gave. We posted those on cordcuttersnews.com as soon as we got them. They both made statements. They were both sort of pointing the finger at each other. Again, that happens every time. It really just came down to the fact that they couldn't come to an agreement, and so they were sort of playing chicken with each other and saying, you know, Roku was saying, we'll take the channels off, and Fox was saying, go ahead, do it, and then it all happened. So I hate to see things like that happen, and hopefully agreements can be come to a little earlier next time, not whenever it's down to the wire right before the Super Bowl. Oh, Robert says The Witcher is a must-watch. Okay, so maybe that will be on my weekend list. Phil says I went from $231 with Xfinity to $61 a month with Sonic Internet and phone. Very happy. That's awesome, Phil. I'm really happy to hear that. Which streaming services are you using, or are you using free services? I think most of you who have been here for a while know that I love free streaming services. There's so much great content out there that you don't have to pay for. It's all legal, it's all free, it's just ad supported. James says, is it safe to say that Fox is being the hard ass? Sling and Fubo can't be scarlet lettered anymore. Fox are the evil ones. It's hard to say, and because we weren't in the room having that conversation with them, we really can't say what happened. It's all speculation, and just based on the statements that the two gave, I think both of them are kind of blaming the other. It's hard to say what really happened there, so not sure. DM says, Once Upon a Time is one of the best shows ever. What streaming service is that on? I know I've heard of it, but I have not seen it. Kenneth says, me and my wife love The Witcher. That's awesome, good to know. It's getting a lot of good reviews, so I think that one will go on my list. Ball says, don't know if anyone else agrees, but TV is kind of overrated in general. I'm going to have to disagree with you there, but I am a huge TV fan, as everybody now knows. I really like it. I don't know, at the end of the workday, I like just kind of turning on the TV and zoning out a little bit. But, I mean, if you aren't a big TV watcher, all the more reason to be a cord cutter. You can use free streaming services to watch a TV show that you do like when you feel like it, watch a movie when you're in the mood for that, and other than that, you don't have to pay. Phil says, free services, over-the-air channels works for me, Fire Stick and Roku. That is fantastic. I love hearing that people are using free services. If you're not already watching Stir, Crackle, IMDb TV, Zumo, Pluto, there are just so many. Definitely give them a try, especially if you're looking for hard-to-find things. A lot of them are exclusive to different free streaming services, so check them out. Manny says, do smart TVs have a system that can interrupt in case of an emergency in the area like a smartphone? If not, why not? Actually, Manny, so another fact for you about Atsc 3.0 is that it will have that capability where it can, you can choose to turn on emergency service warnings and things. And whenever you have that turned on, it can take over your TV if it needs to give you an emergency warning for things like severe weather conditions. It will take over your TV and play that for you. You can also turn it off, I believe, if you don't want to get those, but that's something that people are really looking forward to with this next-gen TV. Kendez wants to know what speed is recommended for streaming. I was actually just looking at a post that Luke had written that was really good, and I'll probably not be able to find it right now. Here's one, but I know that there's more. I'll try to find those, or maybe we should just do an updated one. But Luke has some really good information about what speeds, how much data, all of that stuff. Bill says, is the new 3.0 going to help people pick up TV in fringe areas? I'm not sure if it changes the distance where people can pick it up or not. Things like these new satellites, these low orbit satellites, I think that's really going to be the game changer for these fringe areas, like you said, these underserved locations, because it can just reach more area and it can really go to those spots where people have not been able to get TV service, or strong internet service rather. My Daily Side says, Orange is the New Black is a great show on Netflix. Yes, I've watched all the seasons of that and I liked it a lot. April wants to know if the sound quality on Pluto TV sounds distorted to anyone else. Anyone leave a comment if you're finding that you've had that issue with Pluto TV. I have not personally. I've watched it through their web app and I've watched it on my Roku TCL TV. I've never had that problem, but I'm not sure if others have. If you're watching on a smart TV, one thing that gets recommended sometimes is taking the app off of your smart TV and then reinstalling it. Sometimes that, for whatever reason, kind of resolves problems. Ricky says Supergirl and Batwoman are really good on the CW. That is good to know. I have not watched either, and I'm a big comic book movie fan, so I'm sure those would be right up my alley. Oh, that's another thing. So Disney Plus will be adding 3 new Marvel shows pretty soon. Not super soon, but The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming in fall of 2020. WandaVision is also coming sometime this year. The launch date for that got moved up. And then Loki is probably going to be in 2021. And during their earnings call, Disney also said that they have more Marvel shows in development, so we'll be seeing a lot more of those. So let me know if you're as excited about those as I am. I'm really looking forward to all 3 of them. I think WandaVision looks really good. James says, yes, Pluto fluctuates from time to time when they had the Bond channel on Roku. Okay, so it could even be specific channels. I'm not sure what's going on there. You can reach out to Pluto customer support. The free services especially, I was just telling Luke this earlier, they have really great customer service. So if you reach out to them, even on Twitter is a good place to find them sometimes. They'll probably have some advice for you. Nelson says, hi everyone, my first live stream, keep up the good work here. Thank you so much. Philo TV is $20, no additional fees, live content. Couldn't find that info anywhere. Yeah, we report on Philo TV when they have new things to share with us. I met Philo TV at CES and they are all just really, really nice people. They are really on a mission to offer people quality channels and really great customer support and everything that people are looking for without having outrageous fees, which is great. So big fan. If Philo works for you, I definitely recommend it. I believe they have a free trial, and after that, it's only 20 bucks a month. Can't beat it. Brett says, I got hooked on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. Yeah, I have cousins who are very into that show. I like it a lot. I watched a couple of episodes with them. It was really good. Netflix has had some really good originals lately. April says, Philo also has one of the best autoplay features. Other services should pattern off of this. Yes. For being as inexpensive as it is, Philo really has some great features. James says Philo does not have sports. Yes, so that is how they keep their prices low. So I don't think that they are in the business of being your only streaming service unless it works for you. If it does, great. But they can kind of fill in the gaps. So if you use an antenna to watch all of your local channels, your local sports teams and things, then Philo can be a really good, just to sort of accompany anything else that you're using to watch content. Hi Josh, thanks for being here. John says if you want sports, go to YouTube TV. You know, a lot of these streaming services just have different options, so it's really a matter of what you're looking for. I will go ahead and post, if I can, My microphone is right in front of my keyboard. I'll post that comparison chart again, just so that you can quickly get to it if you're looking to compare streaming services to find the channels that you want. Philo has no news or locals either. Yep, that's how they keep their prices down. So it's a really good one, like Sling TV, to pair with an antenna, especially if you're looking for your local channels. You can get them there. Angel says, I love YouTube TV, very good. I cut the cord last year from Infinity Comcast. They were too expensive, paying $100 a month, hundreds of dollars a month. Yes, cord cutting, great for cutting back on costs. I know that's how Luke got started with Cord Cutters News. He and his family were just looking to cut back on expenses a little bit, and they switched to streaming, and that's how this all started. Nelson says, thanks Cord Cutters and Donna, just need my history, DIY, Discovery, TLC, and I'm a happy camper. Yeah, Nelson, definitely check out that comparison chart and do a little digging, just see some of the other options that are out there. Friendly TV is one that's not on the chart. Philo is not on the chart, or is it? It is. Never mind, it's been a long day, guys. But there are lots of options out there that have different live channels, so definitely look around, compare your options. We try to cover as many as possible, all of the legal ones over on cordcuttersnews.com. Darren says the only thing missing is NFL Network. Darren, are you talking about YouTube TV? Because I agree. There have been some rumors about NFL Network coming to YouTube TV, so I've been on the lookout, but nothing has been confirmed yet. As soon as it is, we'll post about it, but there are rumors going around, but I haven't been able to get any information yet. Patty says, cut the cord last August, got tired of paying $282. It's really incredible how much money some people can save by switching. Cable prices are just getting out of control, especially with all these hidden fees and charges and things. No time for that. Mandy wants to know, what's the worst streaming service ever in your opinion? I would say PlayStation Vue. And the reason I would say it is that they shut down. I think that they had a terrible name. I think that their marketing could have been much, much better. I think it was a good, solid streaming service, and some people really loved it, but they just did not do a good job of marketing it or doing what they could have done with it. So that would be my answer. It's kind of a cop-out because they shut down, but that's my opinion. Chris says, I get my locals through CBS News and news on apps. My local CBS affiliate does an app as well. That is awesome. And I know I mentioned this earlier, but for anyone who is just coming in now, Roku has a lot of channels with local news, sports, weather, things like that. So definitely go ahead and look through the Roku channel store and see if there are any for your area. My daily side says, all we need now for cord cutters is the internet, everything else is online. It really does make it easy when everything is very accessible. James agrees with me that PlayStation Vue is the worst on Roku. It always forgot favorites and the app needed to restart. Yeah, it seems like there were always problems. I think the big issue there was that Sony was not investing the resources in PlayStation Vue that maybe we would have liked for them to. It just was not a priority for them, and they just weren't putting in the effort to really make it an excellent streaming service. I think it had the capability of being that, but they never got there. Darren says AT&T TV Now keeps increasing the prices. Yeah, that's another one. It's hard because people always want more channels, they always want more features. To get those, the price has to go up, unfortunately. So a lot of your favorite TV streaming services, if you want more channels on them, you're going to have to pay a higher price for those. Richard has been getting flooded with ads for Philo in the last 3 days. I have too, actually, and I'm subscribed to it, but I'm still getting the ads. So they must have really ramped up their marketing for the beginning of the year. Darren says Roku has a ton of channels for everything. That is completely true. I agree. I think that they've done a really good job of having just a huge and diverse collection of channels. You can really find niche channels for just about anything on the Roku. All right, just a couple more questions, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So if I haven't answered you yet, go ahead and post your question. James says, not that I would subscribe with their high prices, but was it ever found out why AT&T TV Now was pulled from Roku? I'm not sure. It might be something similar to the Fox thing where it was just a money thing and they couldn't come to an agreement. I'm not 100% sure, and I won't start any rumors or anything. I don't know. I hope that they come back only because the people who are subscribed to AT&T TV Now, I know Roku is just such a popular streaming player. It's the most popular among our readers. So it really stinks that AT&T TV Now subscribers can't use it on their Roku. So hopefully they come to an agreement and figure something out. I know that they are both talking about it, so hopefully that happens soon. The best one for soccer is Fubo. I would agree with that. Fubo started out as a sports-centered streaming service, and it is really a good one for soccer fans. They have a ton of channels that will air soccer games. They also have a ton of add-ons that I didn't know about personally until recently when I talked to somebody at Fubo. He showed me their list of add-ons, and it is extensive. So definitely take some time to dig around on their website and look at all of that. Brandon wants to know, how much longer do I think AT&T TV Now will last? Good question. I think that AT&T is going to focus on other things. I think that having AT&T TV is going to be a really big push for them. Those two, I believe, are on the same app, and I'm not sure how all of this is going to work out. But I think that they're really going to be putting their resources elsewhere, so I won't be surprised if that kind of fades into the background. But for now, who knows? Kenny says, why have some channels on Locast stopped working in the New York area? MeTV doesn't work anymore. I'm not sure. You would have to reach out to Locast about that. I know they have a lot going on right now with this whole lawsuit situation, so I have not heard anything from them personally about any of this, but if you reach out to them, you might be able to get an answer directly from them. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I know some of you may have been expecting Luke and you got me instead. I'm going to be here a little more often now doing these Q&As with you. So hopefully I can answer some of your questions or point you in the right direction to find the answers that you're looking for. I just really appreciate all of you being here and asking your questions and having this conversation with me tonight. So thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with me. I hope that you all have a great rest of your week. If you are in an area getting snow right now, please be careful, be safe on the roads. So thank you again so much, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.